Four words echoing through the congressional chamber. You lied under oath. And those four words cornered America's most powerful female official, Attorney General Pam Bondi. December 12th, 2025, House Judiciary Committee, live broadcast, millions are watching, and Democratic Representative Eric Swalwell just lit the fuse. If you're new here, subscribe now and turn on notifications, because this video isn't just about a hearing. This video will show you how the Jeffrey Epstein files were hidden, how powerful names were protected, and how a Justice Secretary was accused of lying. Watch until the end, because what I'm about to tell you will shock you. Picture the scene: Rayburn House Office Building, the Judiciary Committee room. Every seat is filled, reporters packed in tight, cameras everywhere. And Pam Bondi, Trump's Attorney General, is sitting on the witness stand, a glass of water in front of her, four lawyers beside her, a confident look on her face. Questions have been coming since morning: budget, policy, routine matters. Until 3:42 p.m., Eric Swalwell takes the microphone. Democratic representative from California, former prosecutor, expert in FBI investigations. And he has a folder in his hand. Marked in red, it says "classified" on it. Bondi sees that folder. The confidence fades from her face, because she guesses what's in that folder: the Epstein files. Swalwell begins calmly. "Madam Secretary, I would like to remind you of your press conference in July 2025. What did you say at that meeting?" Bondi answers without hesitation. "As the Department of Justice, we thoroughly reviewed the Epstein files. We cannot investigate individuals for whom we found no evidence of wrongdoing." Swalwell shakes his head. "You found no evidence of wrongdoing, is that correct?" "Yes." "No evidence at all?" "Not legally sufficient evidence." "Okay." Swalwell opens the folder. "I want to show you a document." A photo appears on the screen. Former Prince Andrew, next to Jeffrey Epstein, at a party, and there's a girl next to them. Her face is blurred. It's confidential. Swalwell explains. "This photo is from the FBI archives, from the Epstein investigation files. This girl was 16 when this photo was taken. And Madam Secretary, according to the law passed by Congress, you are required to conceal the faces of sex trafficking victims. That's why her face is blurred. Is that correct?" Bondi is silent. "Madam Attorney General, please answer. Is this girl a victim of sex trafficking under federal law?" Bondi's lawyer interjects. "Mr. Chairman, that question gets into the details of the investigation." Swalwell cuts him off. "No, this question is about evidence. Secretary Bondi just said there is no evidence. I am showing her evidence." The chairman grants permission. "Go ahead." Swalwell repeats. "Is this girl a victim of sex trafficking?" Bondi is forced to answer. "Yes, that's what the file says." "Thank you." Swalwell shows the second photo. Same party again. Prince Andrew again. Epstein again. Another girl. Her face is blurred again. "This girl?" Bondi. "Same thing. A sex trafficking victim?" "Yes." "Okay, now let me tell you this, Madam Secretary. Under federal law, it's not just the trafficker who's guilty of sex trafficking, but the customers too. So Jeffrey Epstein is guilty, but the people who used Epstein's sex operation are also guilty. Is that correct?" Bondi hesitates. "Legally, it's complex." Swalwell hardens. "It's not complex, yes or no. Federal law says anyone who exploits sex trafficking victims is guilty. Is that correct?" "Yes." "Thank you." Now Swalwell asks the real question. His tone changes. He hardens. "Madam Attorney General, your Justice Department closed the Epstein investigation in July 2025. What did your press release say? You said, 'We found no evidence of third parties who could be charged.' But I just showed you two photos. Aren't these photos evidence?" Bondi. "These photos require context." Context? Two sex trafficking victims? A prince? A pedophile? What context? Bondi goes on the defensive. Senator Swalwell, a single photo alone. Representative Swalwell. My apologies, Representative Swalwell. A single photo doesn't prove guilt, but it's enough to launch an investigation. Swalwell's voice rises. You said there was no evidence to launch an investigation. I'm showing you evidence. 2 victims, 1 suspect. That's more than enough to launch an investigation. Bondi can't respond. His lawyers are whispering. The room is completely silent. Swalwell continues. Madam Secretary, I ask you this. Why didn't you investigate Prince Andrew? Bondi. Prince Andrew is not an American citizen. The crime was committed on American soil. There are American girls in the FBI files. You have the authority. Bondi. Diplomatic complications. Diplomatic? Swalwell can't believe it. Are you protecting pedophilia with diplomatic reasons? Bondi. I'm not protecting anyone. Then why was the investigation closed? Silence. Swalwell pulls another document from the folder. Let me show you something else. A new document appears on the screen. An FBI memorandum, dated July 2025. Title: Epstein-related cases. Closure directive. Swalwell reads, by order of the Attorney General, all pending investigations related to Epstein are to be closed. These files will not be reopened unless new evidence emerges. Signed, Pam Bondi, Attorney General. Swalwell looks at Bondi. Is this your signature? Yes. You gave this order? Yes. How many cases were closed? Bondi hesitates. The exact number, 87 cases. Swalwell gives the number. 87 active investigations, 87 potential suspects, all closed by your order. Bondi defends herself. There was no progress in these cases. Because you stopped them. The room is in shock. Even the Republican representatives are silent. Because this is serious. 87 investigations, all closed. Swalwell plays his last card. Madam Secretary, now I'm going to ask you the most critical question. At the press conference in July, you said under oath, we reviewed the Epstein files. There is no evidence to investigate, but now I have shown you evidence. Photographs, FBI memoranda, 87 files. Isn't this evidence? Bondi. These documents are in a different context. Answer me, is this evidence? Legally speaking, yes or no? Swalwell shouts. Bondi silently. Yes, these are evidence. And then the bomb drops. Swalwell stands up, pointing his finger at Bondi. Then you lied in July. You said there is no evidence. But there was evidence. 87 files, photographs, witness statements. All of it was evidence, and you were under oath. That's perjury. Bondi jumps to his feet. I did not lie. This accusation is completely... You lied, Swalwell repeats. And this is being recorded on video. America is watching. You lied under oath. Bondi's lawyers intervene. Mr. President, this is unacceptable. The president bangs the gavel. Order. Everyone sit down. If you've been watching so far, don't forget to hit the like button because this isn't just a political debate. It's live proof of how the Epstein files were covered up. And write what you think in the comments because this conversation needs to continue. Swalwell sits but hasn't finished yet. Madam Secretary, one more question for you. Who was in those 87 files? If you're not going to give names, at least tell us this. How many were politicians? Bondi doesn't answer. How many were business people? Silence. How many were celebrities? More silence. Swalwell laughs. You can't answer Because if you do, the names of the people you're protecting will come out. Bondi explodes. I'm not protecting anyone. Then reveal the names. Privacy laws. What privacy law protects pedophiles? Bondi is helpless. It's not that simple. Yes, it is that simple. There's a crime, there's evidence, there are suspects, but there's no investigation. Why? Because the suspects are very powerful. Republican Representative Jim Jordan interjects. Mr. Chairman, Representative Swalwell is making accusations but offering no evidence. Swalwell turns to Jordan. Evidence? Here's the evidence. He lifts the folder. 87 files. They're all here, from the FBI archives. You can see them too. Jordan. These files are classified. Classified? Swalwell feigns surprise. Are pedophilia investigations classified? Why? To protect whom? Jordan recoils. I didn't say that. Then what are you saying? Is Bondi innocent? Didn't she lie? Jordan can't answer, because there's no way to answer. Either Bondi lied or she's protecting someone. Both are bad. Swalwell turns back to Bondi. Madam Secretary, let me ask you one more thing. Does Donald Trump's name appear in the Epstein files? Shock in the room. This question was unexpected. Bondi freezes. I can't disclose specific names. Is it or isn't it? Confidentiality. Yes or no? Bondi's lawyers stand up. Mr. Chairman, our client cannot answer that question. Swalwell. Why? If his name isn't in there, it's easy to say no. But she can't, because it does. Bondi is silent. His face is bright red. His hands are shaking. Swalwell continues. Donald Trump's name appears over 5,000 times in the Epstein files, in FBI records, Mar-a-Lago visits, party photos, phone records, all documented, and you didn't launch an investigation. Why? Because he's your boss. Bondi explodes. There's no evidence against Donald Trump. Everyone knows that. No evidence? Swalwell is sharp. There are 5,000 references in the Epstein files, but there's no evidence? You just said 2 photos were enough for Prince Andrew, but 5,000 references aren't enough for Trump? What's the standard, Madam Secretary? Or are there different standards? One rule for a prince, another rule for a president? Bondi. This is completely different. How is it different? Explain. Bondi can't explain, because she has no explanation. She has no logical answer. She'll either say she's protecting Trump, or she'll admit she's inconsistent. Either is political suicide. Democratic Representative Jasmine Crockett takes the microphone. Young, tough, fiery. Madam Secretary, I'd like to add something. You just said no evidence, but we know there is a witness at the FBI. This witness called the FBI Threat Operations Center in 2019. He provided information about Donald Trump. He said, I drove Donald Trump around in a limousine. I overheard a cell phone conversation. He was talking to Jeffrey Epstein. I got so angry that I wanted to stop the limo and harm Trump. And then I met a girl. This girl said she had been raped by Trump and Epstein. This girl was later found with a bullet in her head. The police called it a suicide. But the police at the scene said, this can't be a suicide. Crockett pauses. No one interviewed this witness. The FBI didn't contact him. Your Justice Department didn't question this man. Why? Bondi is shocked. I'm not aware of this witness. Crockett. How can you not be aware? It's in the FBI report. Bondi. I can't personally read every report. But you can say no evidence under oath? Bondi can't respond. Crockett continues. Madam Secretary, this witness is still alive. He wants to talk, but no one is listening. Why? Because what he has to say would sink Trump? Bondi. That's speculative. No, this is a witness, a real person, a real statement, but you're ignoring it. Crockett is furious. You sit there and tell us justice, but this isn't justice. This is a cover-up. Swalwell returns for the final blow. Madam Attorney General, one last question for you. Is your conscience clear? Bondi is stunned. What do you mean? A simple question. Do you sleep well at night? Because right now there are over 1,000 victims of sex trafficking. All of them were children. All of them were abused. They're all waiting for justice. But you haven't investigated a single person. You haven't brought a single name to court. Is your conscience clear? Bondi is holding back tears. I'm doing everything I can. No, you're not. If you were doing everything you could, you wouldn't have closed those 87 files. You wouldn't have tried to protect Trump. And you certainly wouldn't have come to Congress and said, there's no evidence. Swalwell stands up. He delivers his final words. Madam Secretary, you will go down in history, but not as a hero, as someone who abandoned Epstein's victims, protected the powerful, and chose politics over justice. You should be ashamed. The hearing is over. Bondi stands up. Her face is white. Her hands are shaking. Her lawyers surround her. They exit through the back door. Reporters shout, Madam Secretary, will you comment? Bondi doesn't respond. She jumps into the car. She leaves. But Swalwell is there, at the microphone speaking to the press. Today is an important day in the history of Congress. A minister of justice was accused of lying under oath, and she couldn't answer. Because the truth is clear, the Epstein files are being covered up, powerful people are being protected, and the victims are being ignored. Journalists ask, should Bondi resign? Swalwell, it's not whether Bondi should resign, he should be fired. And beyond that, he should be investigated. If an attorney general lies to Congress, that's a federal crime, perjury, and he should be held accountable. Share this video with your friends because the media will try to bury this story, but the truth is out there. Bondi lied, the Epstein files are being hidden, and the powerful are being protected. This conversation needs to grow. That same evening, a statement comes from the White House. Press Secretary, Secretary Bondi has the President's full confidence. Today's hearing was a political theater. Secretary Bondi did not lie. She is working for justice. But social media doesn't believe it. Today's hearing was a political theater. Secretary Bondi did not lie. She is working for justice. But social media doesn't believe it. Hashtag Bondi lied is trending on Twitter. Millions of tweets, thousands of videos. Swalwell's "You lied under oath" moment has gone viral. 10 million views within 24 hours. Everyone is talking. Everyone is taking sides. Bondi supporters say, Swalwell is twisting things. Bondi is right. Bondi opponents say, she was finally caught. She lied. But the people in the middle, the undecided, they see this. Bondi couldn't answer the questions. She confirmed the order to close the files. And it was clear she was trying to protect Trump. The next day, 3 Democratic senators issue a joint statement. We demand that Secretary Bondi be investigated for perjury. Lying to Congress is a federal crime. Everyone is equal before the law, including Bondi. The Republicans are silent. None of them are defending Bondi. Because it's hard to defend him. The footage is out there. The documents are out there. The lie is obvious. And worst of all, this is not just Bondi's crisis, but also that of the Trump administration. Because Bondi was appointed by Trump. Bondi is Trump's loyal ally. And now Bondi has been caught trying to protect Trump. This also hurts Trump. A week later, Swalwell makes a new move. He submits a resolution to Congress. Title, The Full Disclosure of the Epstein Files Act. The content is simple. All Epstein files at the FBI will be made public. Names included. Photos included. Everything. Swalwell explains, if Bondi says there is no evidence, then let her open the files. Let's see if there is evidence or not. But if she doesn't release them, it shows that there is evidence, but it is being hidden. The bill is supported by Democrats, but Republicans are blocking it. They say, privacy. They say national security, but the real reason is different. Those files contain the names of very powerful people. And if those names come out, the system will collapse. The Epstein files are not just a scandal. They reveal a systemic problem. The rich, the powerful, the famous commit crimes, but they are not held accountable because the system protects them. Lawyers, politicians, the media, they all remain silent. And the victims, they are forgotten. They become a number. 1,000 victims, they say, but they have no names, no faces, no stories, just a statistic. And that's the most painful part. Because these children are real. They lived, they suffered, they await justice. But justice doesn't come because people like Bondi close the files. No evidence, they say, but there is evidence. They just don't want to see it. Now the question is, what will happen? Will Bondi resign? Will he be investigated? Will he be fired? Or will nothing happen? What does past experience show? Nothing will happen. Bondi will remain in office. The media will forget about it. The public will move on to other issues. And the Epstein files will be buried in obscurity again. Until someone else, another Swalwell, reopens the files. And the cycle will continue. Because that's how the system works. The powerful are protected. The victims are forgotten. And justice is delayed. But maybe this time it could be different. Maybe Swalwell's "you lied under oath" moment is a turning point. Maybe social media pressure will be too strong. Maybe even the Republicans can't take it anymore and sacrifice Bondi. Maybe, but maybe not. History shows us that the powerful always win. But history also shows us that sometimes, very rarely, the people win. And those rare moments happen because someone stands up, like Swalwell, and says, "No, enough. We won't listen to lies anymore." That's why what Swalwell did matters, because he didn't just ask a question. He drew a line. He said, "This far and no further." And now we'll see. Will America accept that line, or will it ignore it again? Thank you for watching the video to the end. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because the Epstein file story isn't over yet. There will be more developments, and I'll share every detail with you here. See you soon.